Sir from 17 once again. This is my Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the last section of Mile High. This is the Wind of Destruction Monsoon. So I think this is the worst boss fight in the game. And it's not because he's hard, it's just because of bullshit. When he fights you on the ground like this, it's perfectly fine. I enjoy it, I think it's fun, it's challenging, it's interesting, it's different. But he spends most of the fight out of your range, throwing shit at you. And it takes far too long to do it. He does it for ages. All of it takes forever. This is a 10-minute fight, which could have been done in 2 minutes if he'd not done this for the entire fight. And I don't enjoy this at all. The worst part about it is when he starts throwing vehicles at you, which he's about to do now, they gradually get more and more and more vehicles, and there's a pattern to them to which order you cut, and if you fuck it up, it's a one-shot. And I fought this guy a ton of times, and I was gradually learning the patterns, but it got to the point where I just wanted to continue because I wasn't having any fun. So I put Nanopaste on. Because if anybody doesn't know, if you equip Nanopaste, when you take a hit that would kill you, it will automatically heal you and stop you from dying. It's kind of like a last resort that I use, but if you have no qualms against healing, or you want to just be full efficiency and not die, you can have that stuff on all the time, as long as, you know, provided you find replacements for when you use it. It's a personal choice for me not to do it, but like, look at this. This is simple. This boss would get trashed if he fought correctly, but he just doesn't. And the fact that he can just continue to fly away and spam bullshit at you, which can one-shot you, is obnoxious. But it takes so long, and it's not fun. Like right now, I don't know why I'm holding blade mode, because it's making them take forever. You've got to wait for the kanji on the screen before you do it. But it looks simple enough at this point, but it gets to the stage where he's throwing so many things at you, you can't tell what's coming because they're blocking your view. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. But I'm going to talk about some different things, seeing as how this boss is very, very simple. It's just a case of it's really, really bullshit. Oh, and if anybody knows a way to avoid that stuff in the air without actually having to cut it, please feel free to leave a comment, because I want to be able to do that, because it's just not fun. And that was a plug falling down the side of my PC for anybody interested. Because this fight was out of sync, and it's come to my attention, it was Dead Space that actually did it, that my HD PVR is recording out of sync every so often. Doesn't do it all the time, but every so often it does. And I've just done a quick Google search to look into what it is, and there doesn't seem to be any real conclusive reason behind it. It just seems to be something that can happen. One of the most, logical ones was if you left it on for quite some time, because it gets hot, it can affect the sync, which I know sounds stupid, but with technology, a little thing like getting hot can make a very big difference. And the only thing I can calculate this to is when my extension blew. I've been plugging in my PVR to a different extension, and it's meant that it's been left on, not capturing, just on, when it's not being used. And I'm thinking that maybe it's getting warm from that, and then when I'm actually starting to use it, it's getting even warmer, and it might be provoking this problem. So because I normally unplug it, but every so often it, because it's on the same plug as the internet connection. For instance, when my parents turn the internet on, or the router on, because they don't know anything more, they're turning this on as well, and it's getting unnecessary attention. So I think that perhaps that could be the oh, by the way, you can block that, and it will make this section so much easier, because when you try and evade it, you get hit by phantom bullshit like that. And what I think it is it's supposed to be the exploding barrels that are getting thrown everywhere, but on your screen you don't tend to see them. It's like they've vanished, and you're still getting stunned by thin air. And you can get really unlucky too if it stuns you and the ball of trash hits you to one shot, you're dead. Game over. Thanks for playing. This sequence is pretty funny. This is what you do to the boss if you don't have EMP grenades. You can just counter his body parts until it gets this final one, and then you can chop his face. Do not rush those face chopping sections. If you rush them, it'll dodge, and he can counter you, and he can do a lot of damage, so you want to be really careful. But Oh, that right there as well. Whenever he does the smoke bomb, it actually damages you, which is bullshit. Because if you're going for an S rank, and you're going for the no damage bonus for perhaps an achievement, that smoke bomb will count, and you'll have to do all this fancy bullshit again, which is not very fun. But that was the least of my worries on this run, because I'm getting tagged quite a lot. But yeah, not a big fan of this boss at all. But I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with my PVR, because that would definitely suck. It's far too expensive to be replaced at this moment in time. And it's an inconvenience more than anything else. That right there is me not knowing the patterns of the projectiles, and I just got rescued by my Nanopaste. But you'll notice, when you chop these things, they do drop Nanopaste, so it's one of those sections where if you really want to get through it like I did, and you don't really care if you have to use a couple of healing items, you can just tank them with your face. But I'm hoping there's a cheeky exploit where you don't have to cut them. Because the last boss, if you think you have to cut the debris he throws at you, you don't. The only thing is you miss out on doing the bonus damage when you cut him and you knock him away. But aside from that, it's completely 100% safe and it takes no skill. So I would rather take that any day over than that stupid cutting nonsense where you miss it by a millimetre and it fucking kills you. But look at this! What is the point? Like, if you just spammed cut, I wouldn't mind, but the fact that you've got to adjust for them, and ugh, it's just not cool. But I'm going to have to learn the pattern for when I want to S-rank this fight, because I need that no damage bonus. I don't know, guys, do you find this fun, waiting for him to throw shit at you so you can cut it in an order? I don't. Especially, look, you can't see. How the fuck are you supposed to see him? Everything's blowing up. Like, there's iframes in the slash evade, and if you could just wait for him to come towards you and do the slash evade and dodge them all, that would be great, but they stagger the delivery, so if you dodge one, the second one hits you. And as you've seen, it's a one-shot. And anything that can one-shot you on this game is a serious business. But as soon as it gets to 10%, it's going to get to the point where he starts throwing the obelisk at you after he does this stupid Lorenz force attack. Once again, folks, if you counter this when it comes towards you, you don't have to get the perfect parry, you just have to block. You'll not have to dodge any of the bullshit or get staggered by the invisible barrels. But I didn't want to risk it because I got all the way up to this on my first attempt and it one-shotted me. Mainly because I ninja ran the wrong direction, but that's my own fault. But keep on dodging. And as soon as he's finished with... Look at that, there's no barrels left! Goddamn bullshit game. Just counter. Makes so much more sense. But as soon as he does this, all that's left to do is the quick times and then chop him up, and you've beaten another level and the most awkward boss on the game. So thank you for watching. I hope the guide's helping, and you take care now.